going through. What, woman? I'm going through Huntsville, Texas. Kind of my old stomping ground. I went through Correctional Officers Academy here. Yes, I was temporarily a correctional officer-ish. I went to Academy here. I got kicked out of Academy here. It's one of those not my proud moments in life, but part of it was me. But a lot of the problem of why I got what they call recycled was due to some other people. And that's a whole other video on my disappointment in the Texas Correctional Officers Academy. Good God. It's like 5-year-olds with guns. Anyways, there are a few really good correctional officer teachers that are truly there to do their job, and the rest of them are a bunch of babies. But when you stick 5 females in a dorm room with 1 bathroom and bunk beds, and a few of us actually knew what we were doing and paid attention to the rules, and the rest of them were like, I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere. When you gotta get up, be shit showered and shaved, and be standing out of your room for formation to have your room inspected every morning, and only a couple of the people actually know what, get with their shit and go in the morning, and the rest of them want to sit in there for 45 minutes to do their hair and makeup. I don't wear makeup, so I was one of the ones that knew what the hell I was doing. There was a big tiff with that room. I was the only white girl. There were other people there with me, but I was the only oddball out, more or less. And girls are vicious bitches and caused me hell, just absolute hell, and got me in a lot of trouble for simple shit. Now this is gonna make you laugh. So you've got 5 girls in a dorm room, one room with 1 bathroom, and y'all got your bunk beds. You got to get up middle of the night to go to the restroom, right? Well, I'm in a tank top and my underwear. Apparently that is offensive. This is coming from the same girl that has a selfie. Her back screen on her phone is a selfie of herself. Okay, this is Final Destination-ish, so I'm getting the hell away from this 18-wheeler. I've seen the movie. Anyways, yeah, this is flashback from the movie, totally. Okay, anyways, so yeah, this bitch got offended because I got up and walked to the restroom in the middle of the night when everyone was sleeping. I disturbed her by walking in the dark to the restroom in my underwear and a tank top. Yeah, stupid shit like that. Just stupid. And I don't have the temperament for that bull crap. I really don't. I don't act like that to people. We're all females in the same room. We all have the same body parts. Sorry. Anyways, it was a bunch of bull crap. Ended up getting me kicked out of the dorms, and then I stayed somewhere else for an hour and a half away, because I lived over 3.5 hours away, and I had to leave home for this for about a month and a half. But and then they got me in trouble for something else, and they ended up getting me kicked out to recycle, but I ended up having my son, so I never went back. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because the unit I was going to be going to was 90% HIV, AIDS, and hepatitis. And when you go into Correctional Officers Academy, and you go into a facility once you're placed, because the place I was going to, they clean house because there's a bunch of corruption. So, anyways, when you go in whatever facility you end up going to, you have to sign a waiver saying that if you get HIV or AIDS, they'll give you a test if you get exposed to bodily fluids. But if you test positive, they're sorry for you. That's it. That's all you get on. That's it. You have to leave your job, and you're stuck with the immune disease for the rest of your life. They don't offer treatment, none of that crap. And then also, the unit I was going to be going to was extremely corrupt. So, it's correctional officer, it's a burnout job. The burnout rate's really high, and there are some people that stay in there for a really long time and retire. The money's good, the insurance is good. That's why I did it. But it's got a high turnout rate, and I don't want to go into a place where if there's already been a corruption problems and they didn't clean house well enough. I didn't want to go in there, and if some shit went down and I got attacked, I'm 5'1". I'm a little bitty thing with a bad back. If I get jumped on by a 300-pound guy and the officer that's supposed to have my back is corrupt and doesn't help me, that's my life right there. So to me, the risk was no, I'm not going to do it. So it wasn't one of my highlights of my life. I was very disappointed in the academy because they let behavior like that happen, and my officer that was training me, he actually let the girl that was in our room that had it out for me, he actually, when we were doing hand-to-hand combat, and we were doing some practicing with dummies and things like that, and teaching you how to, you know, if you get in a, just training. And I was on the floor. It was my turn to actually get on top of the dummy and demonstrate my skills. And he let the girl stand in front of me and talk shit to me the whole time. She's like, you know you want to hit me. You know you don't like me. Act like that's me. I'm like, that's not, no. That is not how it works. My sergeant, I was really disappointed in him. Really was. And I had gotten sick during the academy, and I had to take a week off, which I just recycled into the next. There's another class behind us, like a week or so behind, 2 weeks behind us. I took that week off because I was very ill. Like I had a bad infection, and I recycled into the next class behind me. And my next teacher was amazing. We had two different sergeants, and one of them was a very old guy, and one was a lady. She was extremely informative. I learned so much more from her than I did my previous one. And I'm not going to say his name, but there was the old guy. He didn't like me either, because I sat at the back of the class. What they were going over, I had already been over. So I was listening. I'm one of those people that I don't have to look at you to listen to what you're saying. I've been like this since I was a kid. I'd look down and I'd draw like really cool pictures and stuff like that in my notebook. But I can verbatim tell him back exactly what he was talking about. Well, he didn't know. He didn't understand that. And it pissed him off. He saw that as me being insubordinate, and it was just, they give you demerits, and I got a demerit for leaving my jacket in the class. Just stupid shit. And I understand they did that because when you're working in the prisons, you can't leave your stuff anywhere. You cannot leave your jacket behind. You can't. There's certain protocols that you have to follow because inmates will snatch your shit. It's a whole other environment behind those prison walls. We got to go in them. I got to go in lockdown high security. It is insanity. It's a very overwhelming experience. It's a whole nother set of rules behind those bars. It's its own environment. They don't play by the same set of rules we do out here in the world. You know, when you're stuck in a cage and you're given minimal survival stuff, it's just kind of like you were if you were stuck out in the wild. You would find a way to make those things work. I mean, they do crazy stuff, like if they needed to heat water in their cell, they'll get a hold of forks, they'll get a hold of metal, and they'll take the two wires and stick it in their socket, because they get an outlet in their room, in their cell, and they'll take it and stick it in the water and heat the water. But a lot of times they end up popping their unit, they pop their breaker because of it. And they fish. You can watch them do it. It's the craziest crap. They'll find string or bed lace or whatever they can get their hands on, and they will take their badge, the inmate's badge, tie it to the string and tie stuff to that badge because it's got a little weight to it, and throw it underneath their cell door across the room to another cell. I mean, these guys are crazy. They actually had a officer almost die. This was in lockdown. They told us the story about it. There's a little square that they open to give the meals, and the inmate is supposed to go to the back of the cell on their knees, hands behind their head, and face the wall to not interact with the officer giving them their meal. Well, the inmate actually had made a bow and arrow out of, what was it, paper? Some kind of, the way they constructed it made it hard. So when the officer was turned around to grab the meal, he had the door open. The inmate was at the wall and turned around and shot the bow and arrow through that square and shot the officer in the ass cheek. And it hit an artery, almost bled out. He made it. But it's just crazy crap like that. I've already had a long life. I've had enough. I don't really need that stress. So I'm okay. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I work security and things like that. I don't do any of that crap anymore. But that's my little quick memory of going through Huntsville. I'm out of here now. So it's still foggy up here in Dallas. Like, I didn't know fog could cover half of Texas. I mean, it's foggy all the way down to southeast Texas coast, all the way, and I'm in Huntsville. I mean, it's widespread. Some places it's lifted a little bit, some places it's not. I mean, look at that. That's pretty foggy. So, hopefully the fog, I mean, it's noon. Usually this crap's burned off by now, but it's not. So I'm a little suspicious of it. I'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully it will lift by the time I get to Houston, to Dallas, and I can be able to see the actual sky. We'll see. But that's my little blip on my trip so far. And yes, no, I'm not yes, I was a correctional officer for a short period of time. Don't take it out of context or, oh my God, she's secret agent. Don't go there, because I became a mom and I left. I haven't worked since my son was born. I don't know if I'll ever go back to work because of my health issues. So I'm on my way to Dallas to see a neurologist, a neuromuscular doctor. So hopefully this lady will be able to give me some answers. She's supposed to be one of the top people in neuropathy. So let's hope she can help me out. I'm in Madison County, Texas. Whee!